By the way, and I'll just say this, we'll just empty it out. I never had a problem with Bobby Lee.
No, he knows that.
I had a problem with the way that Logan and you were kind of gassing him to keep doing. He started the episode putting his I let that one go. Then every 2 seconds, he kept grabbing my
I don't think...
How would you feel if a man that has his back completely towards you, that only turns around to grab your...
I know that you had written this speech.
I wish I had writers for it.
Right? And, you know what I mean? I thought the comedy instinct was to say that it was like boring or whatever, and I fell asleep. And the third thing is that, and I truly don't remember, and it is on brand, but I don't remember ever trying to touch you. But if I did that, I literally don't remember, but if I did that, I'm sorry. I do it for comedy reasons.
All right, guys, so I am back with another reaction. Now, the last time I did a reaction to what Janko said about Bobby Lee, how, you know, it was basically how he exposed him for, you know, kind of touching him and making fun of him, and also exposed Logan Paul and Mike Malak, I think that's his name, Mike Malak.
Numerous times on the show, which I'm sure a number of shows do, caught things that we believe will protect the integrity or reputation of the guest.
That protected nobody but him.
No, of the guest. That's what I'm trying.
Well, what about the guy that you break bread with, bro?
You know, after that whole thing, that whole podcast, George Janko's podcast came out, obviously the next step was to get Bobby Lee to talk about what he did, or maybe, you know, explain himself. Look, I'm not gonna say that I'm watching it for the first time. I did look through it. I'll be honest, I did look through it because I'm not gonna go in there blind, you know, and because I had to look for this freaking clip. Like, this video is called an apology from George Janko's clips, right? Bobby Lee apologizes to George Janko. I don't think it's even an apology. It's like a sarcastic apology. But let's watch the clip.
So George, we'll talk about other things, but I want to open up by saying that I'm sorry. I feel I just want to break down what happened with the Jake Paul podcast.
Got it.
Okay. So I usually do podcasts in my ecosystem, right? So it's like I know the rhythms, and I know what I can and can't say, and generally, everything, is people are pretty open to, they know who I am, right? But with you guys, I didn't know.
Okay, let's stop here, because what he's trying to say, the ecosystem, is the comedian ecosystem, right? He's trying to say that. That's what he's trying to say. Comedians, let him do what he wants. They let him play, Bobby's games, and they know what he does, right? So they don't try to cancel him over things that he does that maybe might seem a little too far for other regular people, civilians, right?
Yes.
Oh, I showed her my butthole.
Yes,
Yeah,
you did show her your butt.
Is that like a thing you do with gas?
No, I don't. No, it was the first time and every time.
No, you showed it to Miss Pat.
Oh yeah, Miss Pat.
Was there something wrong with it, or was
no? It's
just shockingly beautiful.
Oh, can I see?
No, you don't deserve it yet. You don't deserve it. Your attitude stinks.
But if you're a comedian, you obviously it's a joke, right? That's what you gotta. Yeah, that's what you gotta know.
No, so and also it's a huge platform, so I was like super nervous. So I tend to get bullyish and out of survival. Okay.
And you looked at the weak calf. I get it, dude.
You're not a weak calf.
No, I get it, dude. I get it, dude. I would do the same thing if I saw him. No, you can't eat him.
Okay.
Stop.
So anyway,
Bobby did see him as the weakling there. George is the one that they make fun of. Bobby clearly saw that.
Bobby,
I can get a taste.
Save my dog. Get him out of here.
He'd be so delicious, though.
Dude,
I just took his tongue.
I saw you lick him before he licked you.
Yeah. God, no MSG or anything. I love it. But anyway, so when number one, I do so many podcasts. I don't even remember what I said or did or didn't do. I remember moments, And also, secondly, when you walked off the set, I literally was confused by it. I don't know the drama behind the podcast. I I know that you had written this speech,
I wish I had writers for it.
right? And you know what I mean. I thought the comedy instinct, was to say that it was like boring or whatever, and I fell asleep.
Yeah.
And the third thing is that, and I truly don't remember, and it is on brand, but I don't remember ever trying to touch you. But if I did that, I literally don't remember. But if I did that, I'm sorry. I do it for comedy reasons.
We gotta stop here now because he's saying the reason why I touch you or anybody else is because I want to make it funny, right? What a freaking dumb take.
If I did that, I literally don't remember. But if I did that, I'm sorry. I do it for comedy reasons.
It's beneficial for Bobby to deny everything right now. Let's be honest, it is.
I don't know anything about your religion or who you are. In fact, I didn't really know who you. I know who you are now, but I didn't really know who you were. And but with all that being said, I really truly apologize. I mean, I love people. I love podcasting, and I think that you're a voice that people talk about now, and you know what I mean, you're here, and I just apologize. It's like,
Thank you, bro.
I'm sorry.
All joking aside,
Seriously.
for real, I really appreciate that.
That seems like a backhanded compliment there.
You're a voice that people talk about now, and you know what I mean, you're here.
Like, now that you're big, I might have made a mistake going a little too far with you, right? Because now everybody sees me as this, piece of shit. And now that you have become big, it's kind of hard for me to avoid you and what you said. So for that, my bad. That's what he just said right now. I mean, that's what I feel like he just kind of said. But let me know what you guys think about that.
Can I tell you what really, really hurt me though? I ain't Ringo, bro.
You're George Martin.
No, do you know what I'm talking about or not?
No, but with you, you mean with you?
You called me Ringo.
I know. So who are you, George Harrison in that?
I'm George Janko.
Okay, you're George Janko. But
so like the joke from Bobby was that he's Ringo, right? Logan Paul or Mike, they're Paul McCartney or John Lennon. But George is Ringo, which if you know rock and roll, or the Beatles, if somebody tells you you're Ringo, that means you're shit, right? But George is saying that he's just George Janko. I don't he's still mad because it doesn't make sense what he's trying to kind of compare. It doesn't make sense because he's like trying to say that he's not Ringo Starr, he's George Janko. But if you were the Beatles, you could say that you might be George Harrison. You could have said that you were George Harrison. It would have been better. But you're saying you're George Janko in the Beatles. That doesn't make any sense.
I referred to you as Ringo in that podcast.
That was the only thing that hurt me. I was like, I feel like I'm not Ringo. I feel like I'm.
Well, I mean, you're not John Lennon.
Get out.
No. In terms
Get
of
out.
Between you.
No. Between all of them.
Yeah.
I'm definitely John Lennon.
Oh, you really?
I know.
So who's Ringo? Who's Paul?
He wants to be, the frontman, but he wasn't the frontman in Impulsive. Logan Paul was, and the second in command was Mike Malek, right? So if we're gonna play those dumb games, then you probably are George or Ringo. So let's be fair with that, right? Let's just be fair for that. That's freaking silly conversation.
Paul.
Oh, I was just making a reference to a band, but okay, I get what you're doing.
Logan Paul was Paul.
Oh, Logan Paul. Oh, Paul. Logan Paul. And
okay, so he's saying Logan Paul is Paul McCartney, and he's John Lennon, because they want to treat John Lennon as the third Mike.
Mike.
The groupies.
Wow. He just did this, didn't he? Yeah. Wow. Oh, yeah.
Okay, let's be serious, Bobby.
This is a different side to you, dude. You really got to make me mad.
Bobby,
Yeah.
I knew exactly who you were.
Uh-huh.
And I said this on the episode with Mike, and I'll say it again in front of you. Oh, I do appreciate your apology. If it was me and you and we were just messing around and we were like having a podcast and you kept grabbing me because I know your comedy, I wouldn't be bothered by it. I know who you are, I know your comedy, I've seen your podcast. What bothered me on that episode was my friends weren't being friends.
They didn't back you.
They didn't back me, bro.
Yeah.
They saw that I was actually going through things and they stepped on me when I was down. And it just felt like I wasn't in a place where the people around me wanted me to succeed. I apologize that you kind of got caught in this whole drama that we were all put into. But I just want to let you know, before, after, and during, I'm a fan of you, man. I really am. I like your comedy.
You're gonna make me cry.
Look, the problem was, and they've been saying it, that George was just another prop in the show, right? Logan is not gonna be the one being made fun of. Mike, probably, yeah. George, if Mike's there, he is definitely gonna be the one that they make fun of.
After the
type of
episode,
way
do you
about
remember
it.
when you called me? And I said, Mike, this is all that happens. And you said verbatim, you said, it's our fault for not telling you this, but me and Logan are really the ones who should be talking to the guest. You are really there for a boys only episode. So while I get sexually harassed, my other co-host is trying to fire me and you're trying to leverage me to be quiet during other guests.
Bobby saw who was the one that he could make the most fun of. George was a little upset that he didn't get any backup, but he should have known. I mean, because he's also said before, like, you guys always do this shit to me. So after a while, you should realize that you are the joke. You are the one that they make fun of.
I want to make this very, very clear. The real version of why I was upset is because, bro, this is like the freaking Shaq episode. I can't hear the guy. It's here. And then I get clowned on it and they use it to, bro, I told Dylan 100 fucking times. I said, bro, I can't hear this guy. I can't hear this guy.
But
and
George,
we're in a live audience.
George, there's always a butt of the joke. As soon as you left the show, who do you think became the butt of the fucking joke again, George?
Either you get out or you stay there and you deal with it some sort of way, right? But he couldn't, so instead what he did is left. And in hindsight, it was good for him.
No, I really am, bro. I really am.
Yeah. Thank you. And let's just put it behind us.
Yeah.
Let's work together in the next few years. I'm going to get out of the business at one point.
Why?
Especially podcasting. It's a very toxic environment, and I've gotten a lot of DMs saying that if you
It's a toxic environment. Says the guy who bullies people when they go on his podcast and he goes to other people's podcasts.
I've gotten a lot of DMs saying that if you try to grab me, I'd fucking break your wrists. Like 20 of them. You know what I mean? Bro, which I don't even remember doing. And I was like, kind of I didn't even know what the fuck.
Okay, there we have the denial, right? And also, Bobby has been looking at the comments. Bobby, he's a comedian and all. You don't know him. And maybe, I don't know, you're a guest or whatever, and he tries to touch you. You're not going to take that reasonably. And Bobby, like, being mad at the comments saying the obvious truth.
I've gotten a lot of DMs saying that if you try to grab me, I'd fucking break your wrists.
It's just dumb.
Was for a while until I went, did I? I don't remember, but
I actually, it's so funny.
and I asked my assistant to look it up, and she's like, I didn't see that. You know what I mean? And I was just like, oh.
Here. I was going to go into this whole, like, retaliation, but I do have...
You hear that? George was about to do a whole retaliation, whole hashtag Me Too on Bobby Lee.
I am Me Tooing both of them.
The whole time.
Right now. My story.
The whole time.
But as a good Hollywood, like it's just so he was gonna be a nice guy and not destroy a legend like that.
Receipts, and I have the clip as well.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, oh no, I have receipts. I just didn't want to do that. Wasn't my whole like.
Let's move on from that. If I did, I did. I'm sorry.
No, no, because people.
Did you hear that? He's like, if I did, I did.
If I did, I did. I'm sorry.
He literally saw a clip. Bobby's just in denial because he doesn't want to get in trouble. He wants to be in movies. He doesn't want to get that Hollywood cancellation, so he's denying it. And I think George sees that.
To make people
questioning
uncomfortable
it.
and make it be funny.
Yeah, people were just making it seem like I was making it up and making these things up, and I wasn't grateful for the situation that I was in. And all I wanted to do, Bobby, was like, and I think me and you could see eye to eye on this. There's comedy that absolutely,
okay,
yes, and also it's just kind of like
a pudgy dick or
no,
okay,
it's
not long though.
It's long.
There's no way it's long.
I could show you.
I don't want to see it.
I mean, you grabbed it.
I didn't grab it. I didn't grab it. Let's move on.
See, so there we have it, guys. Complete denial. Bobby defending himself, trying to defend himself, denying everything that George said. I mean, we can understand why he did it, right? Because he doesn't want to be seen like that. He doesn't want to seem like a creep. But he is. He is a creep. He does creepy things from time to time. And maybe George finally gave him a little bit of a kick there to maybe stop doing these kind of raunchy, over the top, maybe get in trouble by the courts kind of thing. And also, because George was being presented online as a guy who couldn't take a joke, couldn't take jokes from Bobby, but now we know that Bobby was just doing extra stuff, right? He wasn't just only roasting George, he was also touching George. And as guys, as girls out there, we can all understand why George felt like he wasn't being heard, or there was things missing from the whole context of the whole situation, right? Because we only heard that, George Janko can't take jokes, and that's the reason why he walked off. But the reason was a whole build-up, right? From his own team, and also from Bobby, and also his team not helping him, defending him. And so eventually George had to do a moderate I guess defense to not try to destroy Bobby, but also try to clarify some things. And honestly, I think George has the power to just destroy Bobby from whatever the whole thing happened. He has receipts and clips and everything, but I think he has so much respect for Bobby, and so and he doesn't want to be a guy to cancel anybody else. So he just, I guess he took the high route and try not to do that. And we see it from here. Honestly, we see that. But that's Hollywood for you guys, right? That's, I don't know, that's podcasting for you guys, right? Let me know what you guys think about this. I thought it was crazy. Honestly, Bobby, not really much of an apology. So yeah, that's I'm gonna end there, guys. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Sorry I lagged on this. I took a little bit of break. I was playing a lot of Fallout 4 because the TV show got me back in there. So I apologize for that. And I'll see you guys for another one. Like and subscribe. Comment down below. Bye bye.